Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are going to be taking a look at my past makeup favorites. I've been doing makeup for almost a year now. It's been March 2019 to March 2020. So I guess, yeah, if you do that math correctly, it's been a year. So it's not been a year since I've been making videos, but it's been a year since I actually started in makeup and started playing around with makeup. So I thought for this video, I would go through some of my old favorites, some of the old products that I've used, and kind of talk about either why I still love them or why I don't use them anymore. It's gonna be super fun. We're going to spill a little bit of tea maybe about some things and talk and chat and have fun.
And you better be okay with that, babe. Buckle in.
So don't go anywhere. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know you're here. Let's get to it. Hold on to your brushes. It's makeup time. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I honestly cannot believe that I have been doing makeup for a full year. It's been such a wild, crazy ride. I've loved every second of it. It's been so fun. Now, have there been challenges? Absolutely. There have definitely been more ups than downs, and I really enjoy the artistry that is makeup and whatever I've been doing. I've always had fun. I mean, if it's not fun, why are you doing it, right? There's no point in doing something if it's not fun. So the minute it becomes not fun, I'm not going to do it anymore. But for now, it's fun, right? I'm having a blast doing this, and I really appreciate the response that I get. So let's get into these full face of favorites. Yeah, so the first thing we want to do is put on primer, and the primer that I used to use, which I don't use anymore, is the Benefit Professional primer. The only reason I still have this is because they just sent me more in PR, but I don't use this really. I don't really use any kind of pore filling primers just because the silicone, I feel like it doesn't interact well with makeup unless you're using like a silicone based makeup. And I also feel like it doesn't do the best job of keeping your makeup on. I mean, I do have pores, I do have texture, so I appreciate the fact that it hides it somewhat, but I really don't feel like it does that great of a job in really doing anything. But I used to love it. I used to swear by it. You know, I was like, this is the one, this is the T. And it's really because like all the beauty influencers were like amazed by it. You know, that's kind of like the biggest thing I think in my makeup journey is learning that not everyone knows what they're talking about. And even I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. I'm just like saying what works for me. But a lot of people just say something is amazing and then you get it and you're like, this is not amazing. But it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. They have some new ones out, but I just don't like this one. I don't really feel like it does that much. So that's why I've kind of moved away from it. Things that I love now in regards to primer, the Bite Beauty Changemaker primer, the Pat McGrath primer, the Milk Hydro Grip, which I know is like iffy for some people. I do love it. The YSL Blur primer, if you're bougie, I do love that one as well. The Tatcha Silk Canvas. There are several other good, better primers than the Professional. And I haven't tried their newest one. I got it also in PR, the new hydrating one. I've not tried that one, so, but as a whole, I kind of try to stay away from like pore filling primers just because I feel like, number one, it doesn't do anything, and number two, I don't really feel like it's that healthy for your skin. I'm not a skincare expert, but I don't really feel like it's a good idea to be like filling anything. Let's go on to foundations. So I've used so many foundations over the past year. I have a drawer full of foundations because everybody recommends foundation. I'm like, I run out and go get it, and then it doesn't work, or it works, it's fine, it's whatever. The foundation that I used to use, like number one foundation, because everybody recommended it, was the Too Faced Born This Way. I don't have it anymore because I threw it out. So I went through and kind of decluttered everything. Didn't make a decluttering video because no one wanted to see that mess. I decluttered most of my stuff, and I threw that one away for a couple of reasons. Number one, I feel like it was really heavy, full coverage matte on my face that's not really the tea anymore. Number two is we don't support transphobia in this house or any house, right? So that all gets thrown away. I don't use Too Faced anymore. If you still have Too Faced products and you want to use them because you spent good money on them, do it. You already spent the money. But as for me, I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna, not worth it. I have other things that work better, and I don't feel like I need those products in my life. The foundation that I am going to use that I really did love is the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. This foundation is good. I mean, it's still, the only reason I don't use it anymore is because it is still a little too full coverage for me, I feel like. And so that's why I've kind of not used it a ton. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with the foundation itself. I did like it. I've just found better alternatives that work for my skin and work for what I'm trying to do. But this is a great foundation. It's not necessarily the pinkest foundation in the world, so it does turn a little yellow on my skin. So I mean, you can really see it's not like, there's not really the best tone for my skin, and that's, I think, also why I kind of stopped using it, was because the cool tone was still a little too yellow for me. And that happens a lot with foundations, is they say they're cool tones and they're either still yellow or they are like pink, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't know of anyone that's like pink, except if like you're a troll, then you might be pink. But I also know a lot of trolls that are warm toned. Now let's go into concealer. I'm going to use the Chanel Corrective Concealer. I think I actually bought this concealer because it was Chanel.
Good morning, Slits.
Good morning, Chanel.
No, it's gotta be good. It's fine. It's very lightweight, very creamy. It's similar in texture to the NARS Radiant Concealer, which I did like as well. I also used to like the Kylie concealer. There are several other concealers. Again, I went on like a concealer journey. I just went through like this period of time where I was going through a ton of concealers trying to find the right concealer, and the problem was I was expecting the concealer to do a job that it wasn't going to do, which is hide my lines. And obviously the concealer's not going to hide under eye lines, under eye wrinkles. It's just going to sink in. So I needed something lightweight. This did that. And you know, I have other concealers that I like too. I love recently the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I feel like it does such a beautiful job. I do need something a little more hydrating under my eyes because I am dry there, even though I'm oily everywhere else. It's like oily T-zone and then dry under my eyes because the Lord hates me. Okay, I'm going to set my eyes really quick with the Becca Hydra Mist. I don't really know who recommended this to me. I don't remember, honestly, but if you did, you changed my life. It's still the go-to for under my eyes. It really just does a great job of keeping everything nice and hydrated. So if you recommended the Becca to me, I kind of owe you my life. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't trust anything else under my eyes, so that's what I'm just going to use for under. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. I like this powder. It was the first powder that I used that was like super cool tone and pink, as opposed to most things I had to use like a translucent powder. I used the Laura Mercier for like 2 weeks, and then I realized that it was the worst powder that I've ever used and made me look crazy. But that's, again, the one that everyone recommended. And I found this powder and really liked the way it all worked. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that there was like a controversy. I came in kind of all after that, and I think that's kind of just why I stopped using it, was because of the controversy. I've also used, speaking of the controversy, the Beauty Bakery setting powder. I also used to use a ton of powder and bake under my eyes. It was all, it was all just based on things that I'd seen on Instagram, all things that I had seen people do without even realizing that this was like not the right thing to do for me. One of the biggest things that I've learned is what one person does is not a catch-all or a solution for what everyone needs to do. Especially if you're like old like me and you are somebody that needs to put a lot of TLC into what you're doing. If you're 20 or 19 or 18 or 21 or 22 or any of those numbers, you can get away with putting a shit ton of product on your face. You can get away with baking your under eyes. You can do all of that. But as soon as you start to get wrinkles because life happens, it doesn't work anymore. You have to use less product. So that's something I had to learn because I was like watching all these 20-year-olds do their makeup. I was like, why is my makeup not turning out like them? How are they able to bake so much under their eyes? Well, it's because they have no wrinkles there, girl. They don't have anything for that to settle into. And when you do have things for that to settle into, then you need to be careful and use less product. Do not let anyone tell you the solution to your wrinkles, the solution to your texture, the solution to all of these things is adding more product. It's a lie. That is not true. Do not add a ton of product on top of texture, on top of wrinkles. It doesn't work. It doesn't help you at all. That's my rant for the day.
All right, this bitch wanna play games? Wah-pah! Who got a scrunchie? Is there a scrunchie in this bitch? Listen, I don't got a scrunchie right now, but I'm ready to wah-wah.
The solution is use less. Okay, moving on. We are going to go on to the contour kit. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Contour Kit. I used to use this all the time. The problem that I have with this one, or what the issue is and why I kind of stopped using it and moved on to the Kevyn Aucoin. This product is very, very, very warm. Even the cool tones are still very warm. And so I have a hard time creating a shadow with this. I mean, it does an okay job. This middle shade here, you need a cool tone contour when you're cool tone. You may get away with using a warm tone bronzer when you are warm tone because it can kind of work with your skin. But as far as us cool tone folks, it's not going to create a shadow on your face. It's not going to create a shadow at all. And I mean, some people contour with bronzer. That's completely fine. I'm not one of those people. So I think that's where my issue lied, was it's just kind of still very warm. I mean, you can see it's creating shadow as I'm blending it. It's doing it, but at the same time, it's not as cool as I want it to be, especially when I start layering the bronzer on top of it. And we're going to quickly do my nose here. Now that that's pretty much done, we're going to bake a couple spots. Now, like I said, I used to bake under my eyes. I used to bake everywhere, just kind of brighten everything because that's what everyone did. And they were like, now you bake under your eyes and it's just going to be amazing. And then I always looked like a crazy cakey mess. So now all I do underneath my contour, and I know it's like in my beard, that's fine. I don't really have a beard. I have like the shadow of a beard. I don't even know. Can you even consider this a beard? I think the other major thing that I didn't like about this powder is that it smelled like perfumey, and I don't necessarily like perfumes in my products. I don't really like the perfumey smell. So I think that's another reason why I stopped using it, beyond the drama of a stolen concept. Okay, now we are going to go on to the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I still use this bronzer from time to time. Again, it's a little red. All bronzers are going to be warm tone because you're warming up the face, but I like bronzer to be a little less red on me. And that's just a personal preference. I feel like it's more geared toward somebody who is a little more warm toned. The other thing I used to always do with my bronzer is like make this whole helmet thing, and that's not necessary. I've learned that if you just go with your face shape, just kind of brush upward, and then, where you want a little bit of bronzer, where you want a little bit of color, you can put. You don't need to do this like C shape and then like, it's not necessary. You don't need to do all of that. Find what works best for your face shape. You need to find out what works best for your face shape and work with your face shape. It's not, everybody does the same thing every time. It's not going to work like that. So whatever works best for your face shape. And then I personally like this like sculpted look. So I try to keep everything up here, very sculpted as I'm going through. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of bronzer and go along this contour. And all of this is doing is just kind of softening everything, so that I don't have any kind of harsh lines along my contour on my nose. Okay, now let's go ahead into blush. I'm going to be using the Morphe Blush Trio. I don't really know why I love this one. I think it was because I was a little scared of blush, and this is kind of like a very subdued blush moment. I would always go into Boss or Unapologetic. It's like a bricky thing, and it was pigmented, but it wasn't like giving you this huge moment of blush. It was just kind of like giving you a little color, which I appreciated. I was scared to use blush. I'm definitely not scared to use blush, but I was at one point kind of afraid to use a little bit of blush. As far as blush now goes, I usually use like a cream blush, like the Milk blushes, or I use my Patrick Ta blush, which I love, and I use that as well. So there are blushes that I use now. I do drape blush a lot of times when I'm just like going out running. I'll just do a drape blush really quickly. I've done that on my channel before. So there are several different things that I use now that I was like scared of before, but now, I'm not scared of nothing. Nothing bothers me. I'll try anything once. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I will try anything once. Let's go ahead and go into our eyes really quick because I feel like this base is pretty much done. Besides the highlight, we'll do that at the end. Let's go ahead and go into our palette. One of my favorite palettes of all time and deserves recognition yet again because I feel like it didn't get the recognition it deserves is the Jackie Aina palette collab with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Jackie, you got gypped.
I mean, it's just appalling. It sickens me. I woke up this morning, I was so in a rage about what they are doing.
I'm sorry. I feel like there was so many releases, and I understand the timeline issue. I understand all of that. But this palette deserved a proper launch. I feel like it did not get that proper launch. That's not on you. That's on Anastasia Beverly Hills. The Jackie Aina palette collab is an amazing palette. It is a absolutely gorgeous palette, and it deserved a lot more recognition than it got. And I'm just going to leave it at that. If you do have this palette, you really should dip into it more. And if you don't have this palette, go get it. It's really worth it. It's an amazing, beautiful color story. Look at this color story here. I had just kind of started my YouTube channel when this palette first came out, so I didn't really give it a proper review, and I needed to, and I'm like, will forever be sad about that because it's such a great palette. It's one of my favorite palettes. It has so many beautiful shades. It has so many beautiful shimmer shades, which I don't necessarily love shimmer shades all the time, but these shimmers are beautiful. Let's go ahead and do an eye with this palette and give it, again, the recognition it deserves. I'm not saying like I'm a stan of anybody, but if I was a stan of somebody, it would be of Jackie. I just feel like she is what I want to be as a YouTuber, as somebody who does makeup. I want to put out that kind of content that she does. She's amazing and she's gorgeous. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Shookington, which is a purple shimmer shade, and I'm going to go just in this inner corner. I know you're like shocked that I'm using a shimmer shade, but I just love these shimmers in this palette. And they're super pigmented. You really don't have to do a lot to get a lot out of them. Now I'm going to take Credit, which is a dark brown shade, and I'm going to take that just in this outer corner here, kind of blend all that together. I'm really going to pack this shade down in this outer corner. Like, will you look at that color? Will you look at that pigment? It's like so fucking incredible. I'm just like shocked. She did that. I mean, she did that. And it's a shame that that wasn't celebrated more. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go into Sponsored, which is this green shimmer shade. And I'm going to put this on my lid. This is just going to kind of go all over all of my lid. It's honestly just so beautiful. Now I'm going to go into the first shimmer shade here, which is like Soleil. I don't really even know. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner. Wait, now I'm going to go into the bottom lash line. And I'm going to go first with Credit. Just in this outer corner. And then again, I'm going to take that shimmer shade Sponsored and stick it right in the middle. And then connect that to the shimmer here. Wait, let me throw on the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, and we are back again. And this is the finished eye look. Like I said, I love the Jackie Aina palette. I love the colors in it. I love how everything just blends together so beautifully. I love the shimmers. I love everything about it. She was robbed. Let's move on to highlighter. I used to love the Killawatt highlighter, and I still do. I just feel like I have other highlighters that I love more now. But I did really love this highlighter, and I still really love this highlighter. It's not a bad highlighter at all. I just found other ones that I love better. But look at that gold shimmer. This is in Mean Money and Hustla Baby, and I really just like mixed the two and just went to town, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips now. This is a KKW liner. I still like KKW liners. I have so many of them. I do love them. I like the formula. There's nothing wrong with that. I have other liners that I like better. The Patrick Ta lip crayons are the ones that I use the majority of the time. I need to stop talking because I'm going to mess everything up. And of course, like any new person in makeup, I thought Kylie's lips were it when it came to lip products. I hate lipstick now. I hate liquid lips. yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. I just feel like they're super drying, and anybody who tells you they're not is lying. There are liquid lips that have like hydrating formulas, but I just feel like a matte lip is not the tea anymore. For me, anyway, for me. And then, of course, I loved this Anastasia lip gloss. This Estella lip gloss. I would wear it all the time. And this is it, guys. This is the finished look. Like I said, these products used to be some of my favorites. Some of them I still will use occasionally. I still love them, like the Jackie Aina palette. Some of them I don't like them anymore, really, because of the way they sit on my skin, or the way they look, or the way the finish is, or how they wear throughout the day. So there are several things that I don't like about some of them, but some of them are still really, really great items, and I'm working towards circulating a lot of the older items that I use more into my everyday. Just because it's good to use the products that you have, of course. But this is the finished look. Really happy with this one. If you like this video, please give this a big thumbs up. I will do more videos like this where I go and just kind of shop my stash and do recycles of old things and old products and talk about why I like them, why I don't like them. And if you have products in your own makeup closet or makeup drawer or makeup bin, or just sitting on your counter that you never use, I encourage you to go back into them, revisit them, see why you like them or why you stopped using them, because you may find something that you loved and just forgot about. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now. Like this video, do all of the things that you need to do. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.